So I'm going to jump in because I know that you will absolutely love this interview. You're going to love this amazing individual I got on here. What's up, Rocio, Amy? Yes, yes. All right. So this guy has a super impressive resume and super impressive series of things that he has accomplished. Some of the highlights is he was making over 100,000 a year at age 24. At 28, he was financially independent. He has spoken to, this is amazing, he's spoken to crowds up to 50,000 people. He's been featured in Success Magazine. He's been featured in all kinds of different podcasts. He's a speaker, a podcaster, a trainer. He also teaches leadership principles to different corporations such as Ashley Furniture. And this is a guy that I really respect. He had me on his podcast and I really enjoyed it. Thought we would have him on ours. So please help me welcome. And he's got an upcoming book that we'll talk about, Wealth on the Beach. I mean, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? What don't you like? The Wealth of the Beach? You like both of them. And so I'm super excited to welcome Daniel Alonzo. Daniel, what's going on?
What is going on, Ray? Excited to be here, man. I'm fired up. I'm pumped up, man.
Yes,
fired
sir.
up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. All right. So tell me, how did you get into network marketing? What was that like? Did you just give me your story? Let's hear that.
Well, look, I was just a punk kid, I mean, I was kind of one of the bad boys growing up. So
me too.
I got bad grades. I got in a lot of trouble. And so it just, things were not, looking up for me. And it was crazy because one night, what kind of transformed my life is one night I was out being a little hoodlum with a buddy of mine, and we were going through cars. So what we would do is we were roaming the streets about 2 o'clock in the morning. And
you're keeping it real on here. Dang.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I really want you to get, I want you to know who I am and where I came from. And we would open up cars and then we would steal stuff inside of the cars. And,
wow.
And I was about 14 years old at the time. Just, this is a little bit, a little reverse here, but and so we found a boombox radio, and so we were so excited. And you remember, you're about my age, so you remember the boombox radios, the big ones that you put on your.
Awesome.
And we grabbed it and we ran like the wind, and we got back to his mom's house. This is actually down in Newport Beach, in California, and we found a tape. Or I found a tape. It was my radio. I actually got it. But I found this tape, and it was from Jack Canfield, which y'all know, soup, chicken soup for the soul. And
right.
And this was a long time ago. So it was a really ancient tape. It was like a series of 9. It was called Peak Performance and Self-Esteem. And so bottom line is that me listening to this tape really got me thinking self-improvement.
Got me stolen boombox.
Yeah, from a stolen boombox, which, by the way, I still have the stolen boombox today. Okay, it's at my office, and I have the
pictures to see if anyone recalls losing it. And
I know, seriously, I'm not even kidding. And I still have the tape cassette in my office, in my drawer. I keep it in my drawer. But anyways, fast forward 5 years, 6 years, whatever. I'm 21 years old, and a buddy of mine comes to me and says, "Hey, man, you got to do this thing, right? You could get rich and make all this money." And I'm like, this is bullshit. I never heard anything like that. I was driving around a little, $4,000 Nissan pickup truck that you had to go like this to get your windows down. And there was no air conditioning, no rims. I mean, literally it was a piece. And I said, "You're crazy. There's no way." We just didn't come from things like that. So when I heard somebody saying you're going to be a millionaire. So anyways, bottom line, this guy, my best friend, one of my best friends growing up, Pablo, he's the one that recruited me. And that's kind of the beginning of, when I said yes to network marketing.
That's awesome. And if you're on here and you're already entertained, make sure that you tag someone. Feel free to share this. Smash that heart button. Give Daniel some love here for keeping it real. I love it. And so, okay, so I didn't catch, what age was that?
21.
21. And so did you just have meteoric success right away, or like what did you have to battle?
Well, look, first of all, it took me about 4 months to go to a meeting. So I kept telling him, I'll be there. I promise. You can count on me.
What do you think? What do you think kept you? Like, what kept you from going?
I just, you know what, well, I guess number one, if you would have known Pablo, you probably wouldn't have gone either. Pablo was crazy. Okay. I was pretty crazy growing up. Pablo was like double crazy than I was growing up. And so it was just, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we did everything. I mean, we were crazy. I mean, we smoked too much stuff. We drank too much stuff. We hung out with the wrong people, with the wrong crowds, just gotten a lot of, I mean, thank God I kind of knew the line, there was a line. I was never arrested. I never, went to jail. It was kind of like that. Just a couple of boys that were crazy that wanted to, stay out late and, try to mess around. But anyways, bottom line.
I totally get it, by the way. I mean, that's the story. I mean, I was party animal in high school, didn't finish on time, went back the next year, so like, I get it. And I totally understand.
No, I know you get it. So, cause I mean, we talked on my podcast, so I know. But look, man, it took me 4 months. I kept telling them, I'll be there. And the reason why I mention this is because this is a lesson for anybody that's trying to recruit somebody, is that sometimes the right people, it might take them a little while. I don't know necessarily that I was completely that perfect. Well, I was a 0 pointer when I started. No kids, not married, still lived in my parents' converted attic. And so anyways, I end up showing up to a meeting, and I'm like sitting here, my mind is blown, right? There's this guy up on stage, and he said he made $71,000 his first year in business. Now, this was a long, long time ago. So this was 25 years ago. So, that was a pretty good start this guy had. And so it blew me away. And I think at the time he was making about $400,000, and he was like a grocery store manager before. And I was in the front row, man. Ray, I was blown away. Like, I never in my life heard anybody, met anybody, knew anybody that made that kind of money. And so I was blown away. And the truth is, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Like, they had me at hello, buddy. I mean, it was on. And they were like, you got to get on appointments. Yeah.
And let's just touch on that. You touched on it a little bit, but some people may hear 71,000 first year. Well, hey, ask yourself this: how many people that spent well over $50,000 or $100,000 on a college degree walk out and start at 70? None of them. None. I mean, I remember my wife. She's the college graduate of the family. And when she came out, she had a marketing degree from a very good university. They offered her minimum wage. They're like, yeah, man, here's where you start. And after 2 years, you can, like, no one is walking out of college making $70,000 a year. Like, you got to understand that. So just to compare the two.
Yeah. And I was making $7 an hour at the time. Okay. Yeah. $7 an hour. Working a little mom and pop business, and I saw this, Ray, and they said, first thing they said is that, look, you got to get on appointments. You got to set up appointments in your warm market, got to make a list and all this kind of stuff. And I just did it, man. I didn't know any better. I didn't know to fight them. I didn't know to, to ask too many questions. I mean, and I know, people like to ask questions and, be aware of and that's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I think I was lucky. I think after I made $21 million since I've been in business.
Nice.
Just in the company money, not my investment money or properties or things like that, but just in, and I look back and I go, holy shit, man, wonder if I had Google, right? Wonder if I would have been able to Google this shit. Yeah. If I would have Googled it, and then I would have saw one negative post of some guy sitting in his underwear typing up bad stuff about the company, man. And I would have been like, hell no, I ain't going to do this. There's no way I'm going to do it. Well, I got flack from my dad. I got flack from my, cousins, aunts and uncles. Nobody really believed me in the beginning. And but I did it anyways. I booked appointments. I set up appointments and I just went for it, man. And so not that I went like this, I only made 15 grand my first year. So it wasn't like I had like unbelievable success, but I was 21, man. I looked at it this way. I said, if it takes me 4 years to make $1, I'm excited because I'm not going to college. I decided I wasn't going to go to college. It wasn't important to me. That's not where I wanted to, and so I went for it. And 4 years I was making, over between $100,000 and $150,000 by then. So yeah.
Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.